McBride was an all-star for the 5th time in her career as Boston goes backdoor to Hull. Working on Williams. Hull gets it to go. And a foul.
Career high for you tonight. How'd that first half feel, especially with 18 and just 20 minutes of play?
I mean, it obviously feels good, I think. For me, just playing with confidence. We're missing people, so everyone's got to do a little bit extra, be a little bit more aggressive offensively. So that was my mindset going in, and obviously it feels good to see the ball go through the net.
Lexie Hull did not hold back, and this game proved it. We are breaking down her career night, the injuries stacking up, and the third quarter swing that changed everything. If you back Lexie and the Fever, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. It helps more fans find stories like this, and it tells us to keep digging deeper.
Second All-Star appearance was right here in Indianapolis back in July. Oh, looking inside for Boston. She will launch and knock down a 3. Lexie Hull's hit a pair. End of that game, but foul line continues to flummox Smith here this year. Here's Hull backdoor, puts on the brakes and lay it in. It's a Lexie.
She did not wait for permission. From the opening tip, Lexie Hull played like the plan was already tucked in her hands. Her threes fell clean. Her back cut sliced behind flat-footed defenders. And by halftime, she had 18 with room to spare. Indiana needed a tone setter after a week of bad breaks. She gave the rhythm, urgency, and a reason to believe. The box score shows 23 points on 9 of 16 and 4 of 7 from deep across nearly 37 minutes of non-stop motion and effort. But the numbers missed the feel of it. She kept moving when possession stalled. Flash for quick backdoors when eyes drifted. Repositioned to open windows. And refused to drift to the corner and wait. That active mindset turned good looks into great ones. And gave a thin roster a heartbeat. The arena felt it. Teammates felt it. Minnesota felt it too. It was the kind of performance that redefines expectations in real time, inviting the question everyone whispered as the horn sounded. What comes next?
Lex, did you come into tonight kind of expecting to play darn near the whole game just with the injury situation and the personnel available?
Damn, you played 37 minutes.
I mean, you played a lot too, Kels. When did you play? 35. I mean, yeah, we're down people, so gotta suck it up, play a little tired a few minutes, and take in those timeouts as best we can. But yeah, I mean, we're down people, so everyone's got to do a little more.
Yeah.
For you offensively, was the plan to kind of try and get some looks inside early to get yourself going and then start working from the outside, or was that just kind of how the game set itself up?
Just to read the defense, you know. I think I got some really good passes on the back cuts, and that's a testament to my teammates, you know, finding me, but keeping moving, just reading whatever they're given.
It was not just a hot night. It was a night built on choices. Hull stopped playing like a supporting piece and began hunting decisively and often. Read the defense. Slip behind the help. Attack a tilted lane before it recovers. She said everyone had to do a little more, and then she did a lot more. Coach Stephanie White saw it in real time, praising how assertive Hull was to the rim, and how quickly she rose into catch-and-shoot threes without hesitation. Those details matter when legs are heavy and rotations are shallow. Indiana leaned on her movement to manufacture pace without a pure point. She delivered runs in miniature. 2 baskets here, a drawn help there, a relocation free to cap it and lift the sideline. That is how a role can shift in one night. Confidence first, pressure second, results third. The only question was whether it could hold for 40 minutes. Minnesota answered later, but her early edge forced them to think first.
Not during garbage time after things were decided.
And in Chloe Bibby's absence, you'll likely see a lot of Turner on the floor here today as Lexie Hull launches and hits. There's a 3-point going in. Here is Hull. Look how aggressive Lexie Hull has been here in the first half. That was her 8th shot. Lexie Hull with all the confidence in the world. Petty, wide open. Oh, yes!
What stood out wasn't just the number of points, but the way she got them. Hull refused to be one-dimensional. She sprinted through open lanes, crashed the glass, and constantly forced defenders to chase. Indiana leaned on her.
16 in the first half for McBride. Hull catch and shoot, knocks down another.
The first half carried a different energy. Kelsey Mitchell spaced the floor with threatening range. Aaliyah Boston occupied the low block. And Hull darted into open windows the defense kept leaving. The ball did not stick. Indiana trusted the first advantage and took it before help could form. The bench rose on every make, celebrating plays that looked practiced despite a patched rotation. It felt like momentum finally favored a lineup missing too many names to count. When a roster is thin, timing is oxygen. Early frees calm nerves. Easy layups restore habits. Indiana had both. By the break, the Fever looked ready to close a win. The rhythms were right and the spacing looked clean. But halftime resets everything. It gives the opponent a whiteboard and a plan. The next 10 minutes would test how real that rhythm was. If the first 20 showed how sharp the scheme could be. The third would reveal whether those reads could survive when Minnesota raised the heat.
Lexie Hull tonight, career high for her, just especially effective there early on. What were you seeing from her performance?
She was aggressive. I mean, she was hunting shots. She was aggressive to the rim. You know, she knew we needed another scorer on the floor, and because of the attention that Kelsey and AB get, she was getting free and she was hunting shots, and that's what we're going to need from her.
Then the floor tilted. Minnesota returned from the locker room ruthless, spreading the court and driving straight lines into tired legs. The third quarter landed like a punch, 32-7. Rotations arrived late, box outs vanished, and Boston met two bodies at the rim without help at her shoulder. Second chances stacked and rhythm jumpers followed. Indiana's offense frayed as passes came a beat slow, spacing shrank and options narrowed. A quarter like that is not just numbers. It's a mood swing. The team that felt light and connected looked heavy and reactive. Mitchell fired when daylight cracked, and Hull kept cutting, but the avalanche rolled. Timeouts paused it, not reversed it. When possession snowball, the first clean execute becomes survival. Indiana needed one to stop the slide. It did not arrive until the damage stuck. The lesson was brutal and simple. If the first rotation is late, the second must be perfect. And if both miss, the scoreboard punishes fast.
Just obviously Chloe Bibby, a late addition to the injury report. Just when did that injury happen, or do you know the severity at this point?
Felt something during pregame, and so holding her out as a precaution. We don't know anything, so hopefully we'll get some more information tomorrow when she can be seen.
Had she been dealing with any soreness or anything like that in previous days, the week leading up to tonight?
Yeah, I think everybody's dealing with soreness at this point in the year. But yeah, I had been dealing with a little bit of knee soreness, and again, just want to make sure that we're cautious and figure out what's going on before she gets out there.
Injuries did not set the stage; they wrote the script. Caitlin Clark remained out with a right groin issue. Sophie Cunningham had a torn MCL. Sydney Colson's season ended with a left ACL injury. Ari McDonald was shut down with a foot problem. That was the baseline. Chloe Bibby felt left knee soreness in warm-ups and sat, while Odyssey Sims exited in the fourth and never returned. That pile-up left Hull as the lone healthy wing and forced lineups that asked Brianna Turner and younger pieces to moonlight in roles they were not built to carry yet. Depth is not a buzzword here. It's the difference between playing free or playing careful. Indiana had to choose careful. Minnesota made them pay for every slow read that careful created, especially on long rebounds and two on the ball recoveries that became open threes. In a league decided by inches, losing a half step to fatigue or unfamiliar roles turns clean coverage into chase mode, and chase mode ends poorly.
Still think you want to play Lexie 40 minutes. How can you handle the wing without Chloe tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do it by committee. Bree Turner can guard 5 positions, so she'll be out there defensively. We've got to try to manipulate lineups a little bit more to figure out who we can stretch the floor with. So probably on the floor at the same time as Didi in a lot of things that we do. But again, if it's not going to be spacing the floor in the half court, we've got to be able to get our defense to create some offensive transition opportunities. That doesn't always have to be steals for scores, but we've got to get missed shots that allow us to get out, run out, and try to create some things in transition.
Even inside the Storm, there were anchors to grab. Mitchell played like an engine, posting 27 and 5 with 5 threes, demanding attention on every touch. In minutes where structure faltered, Her shot making kept doors cracked and possessions alive. Boston added 15 and 6, a steady counterweight, even as the defensive asks stretched thin and the timing to her post catches wobbled under pressure. She fought for position, wrestled for angles, sealed, resealed, and still created windows. Those contributions did not erase the run, but they prevented a slide into resignation. Sometimes that's the job. Keep the game honest, keep the huddle loud, and keep the next play believable while the staff searches for a stabilizer. If the Fever find their footing in the rematch, it likely starts with Mitchell's gravity opening lanes and Boston's patience turning tight catches to points. Moments like that sharpen focus for next swing.
Oh my goodness, I was taken back. It was fun. It was funny. I was very humbled. I was grateful for my group. I love the people I play with, and to know that they would go out their way to make something like that happen for me, it means a lot more than people know, because I have been here the longest. I have, everything that people talk about, I have been, and to know that my teammates kind of like see me as, I have value somewhere, and I feel like they make me feel like, I'm important to them and vice versa. And so that value means everything to me. And anybody knows me, I'm a loyal type person. And so I'm going to forever look at them like forever friends after something like that.
Then came a new face with old poise. On a hardship deal, Shea Petty walked in and hit shots as if she'd been in the gym all month. 3 of 4 from deep, 10 timely points, and a calm rhythm on catch and shoot looks that settled nerves when the game begged for a steady hand. The full playbook comfort is not there yet, and that is normal for a guard learning calls midweek. But the willingness to rise without hesitation punched a small hole in Minnesota's cushion and forced their weak side help to respect the corner. Coaches notice when a newcomer takes the right shots the instant they appear. It signals trust. Petty's minutes were a reminder that opportunity often shows up messy, in borrowed jerseys and quick walkthroughs. Take the space, take the rep, make the shot. Indiana needed that jolt. It arrived on time, even if the comeback did not. If her reads sharpen soon, her gravity can buy Mitchell an easier entry and buy Boston a beat to seal for twos.
Her composure on catch-and-shoot looks gave Indiana an instant lift. Still, the rest of the point guard duties revealed her inexperience. Running the offense and directing flow was still a work in progress.
Mitchell in the second half, and that overtime.
Well, we know she can heat it up.
Oh, Petty shaking off Carrington, and she hits her first shot with the Fever. It's a corner three, and Indiana's opened up 4 for 5 from a three-point. Fever on the night are shooting 69%. Look at Turner running the floor like a guard. Kick out Petty. Oh, yeah!
Hull's hot hand.
The thin wing rune forced improvisation across every segment of the rotation. Hull locked extended shifts as the only natural wing, while Turner cross-assigned on guards and forwards just to plug matchups. Possessions bent out of shape. Without a practice conduit to initiate sets, timing slipped and Boston seals went unrewarded. When Sims asked out, Petty had to orchestrate on the fly. Everyone adjusted a half step late and the margin vanished. This is where chemistry usually lives. In repetition, not in first week introductions. Indiana did not have that luxury. They were building an offense while running a race. The effort was not the problem. The calendar was. Minnesota pushed, and the Fever's new pieces did not yet have enough shared habits to push back with precision, especially when the game demanded 2 clean actions in a row. The fix is not heroic, it's boring. Tighter terminology, crisper entry angles, and a first pass that starts the dominoes on time.
The lulls that you obviously mentioned just now, and how you guys want to make those lulls obviously not
shorter.
As bad. Just what can the team do on the floor? What can you guys as a coaching staff do in the moment to kind of break those up?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's timeouts. Some of it's substitution matchups, although we don't have a lot of those. And some of it's just attention to detail. I mean, championship teams, their attention to detail throughout the course of 40 minutes is there for the most part. And we're learning how to do that.
Coaching always becomes the debate after a quarter like that. Should coverages have shifted sooner? Should pressure have picked up higher? Should a timeout have broken the run earlier? Fans asked all of it. White leaned on timeouts, subs, and reminders about attention to detail, the currency of championship habits. She also pointed to a practical truth. 2 point guards were being integrated on the fly, which blurs language on both ends. Turnovers fed the snowball. Late closeouts fed the next one. You can argue for quicker changes, but you cannot ignore the context either. The frustration is real because the pattern is real. Third quarters are telling a story this team cannot afford to repeat. The rematch will test the dial. Earlier traps, stronger nail help, and a first timeout made as a weapon, not a bandage. If Indiana flips even 2 possessions with pressure at the point of attack and cleans the weak side glass, the entire slope of the game changes by design.
Our players bust their ass. Like, they battle every single game. And you know, they just, it's a couple minutes here and there. You got to play a 40-minute game. But this is a special group of women, man, with what they've been going through and everything that they've had to continue to overcome, and to put ourselves in position. You know, it could have been real easy to fold in that third quarter when they broke it open. To put ourselves in position, you know, to come back to compete to win a ball game. I mean, it's no matter what it happens, win or lose. The roots that this group is forming culturally, the roots that they're forming in terms of competitive spirit and what it means to compete at this level. I mean, those are what allow us to withstand these storms. And you know, the numbers tell a story, but you know, their hearts and their character tell another one.
So what exactly made Hull's night matter beyond the line? It modeled a usable template. Move before defense thinks. That cut the stare. Relocate after the pass. Hunt responsibly, not recklessly. Those are skills that scale even when stars return. When Caitlin Clark re-enters, this version of Hull makes the offense harder to map. Defenders cannot park. Help has a cost. The Fever have craved a connector who doubles as a pressure valve, keeping possessions from dying on the strong side. For a night, Hull wore that role and wore it. She did not wait for someone to hand her a green light. She manufactured it with pace and angle. If that becomes habit, Indiana's ceiling rises because the floor rises first. That is the quiet math of good teams, compounding small advantages until the big plays look inevitable from the stands. The tape gives her a blueprint to reuse. If the tag is late, cut. If the closeout is long, drive. If the help stunts, skip and relocate for a return.
White herself, though, didn't shy away when asked afterward. She admitted there were moments where we had some breakdowns in personnel D and cited turnovers as a turning point. She also pointed out that Indiana is working in new point guards.
The standards do not wait, and the math is tight. 6 looks safe until it's not. A half game here and a game and a half there. Every slip narrows the runway. And back-to-back with Minnesota is an unforgiving test of focus. That's why nights like this both sting and teach. They reveal what travels and what breaks. Hull's pace and willingness to be the next pass option travel. Late rotations and passive grasswork break. The film session will not be kind, but it will be useful, because the fixes are specific. Show early nail help, hit first on the boards, and protect the first action after timeouts. Urgency is not panic, it's clarity. And clarity is the only way a thin group can steal wins against healthy depth. The window is open. It's smaller now, and the next 40 minutes will decide whether it widens or slams. If Indiana pairs that urgency with cleaner guard to post timing and one decisive push in the third, this matchup flips from survival to control.
No matter what it happens, win or lose, the roots that this group is forming culturally, the roots that they're forming in terms of competitive spirit and what it means to compete at this level, I mean, those are what allow us to withstand these storms. And you know, the numbers tell a story, but you know, their hearts and their character tell another one.
Where does that leave the story? With a dare. Keep the aggression. Keep the movement. Protect the third quarter like the season depends on it, because it might. Mitchell's gravity buys space. Boston's patience buys time. Petty's readiness buys relief. And Hull's decision to stop waiting and start owning buys belief. That mix is enough to beat good teams if the details harden. Sunday's rematch offers a clean test. Same opponent, same stress. A chance to turn a lesson into a result. Fans can debate coach or roster until the comments fill. The game will answer faster. The next 40 minutes matter. The next 4 minutes may matter most. Hit first, sprint out, finish through contact, then repeat. That is the path from almost to done, and it's on the table if they take it. Watch the back cuts, the early seals, the first pass speed. If those arrive on time, the score will too. If Hull opens with the same intent, that ripple forces choices and tilts last 5 minutes. Lexie's ride, the injuries and the third quarter test told the same story. Details decide everything. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more sharp, fast WNBA stories, subscribe to the channel, like this video and ring the bell so you never miss the next one.